Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amanda and today I am going to be doing something that has been basically a year in the making. But in all actuality, the video that you are just watching now is going to be 2 or 3 months in the making. I recently have come across Nicole from Nicole and Her Books, and I absolutely love her channel. And she does this TBR completion project videos where she goes back to old TBR videos and she watches them, reacts to them, and then has to read everything that she didn't actually read in those TBRs. So I made this video in last July 2020 called 12 Intimidating Books to Read in 12 Months. So at the time I made this video, I did not know who Nicole was, but I knew that I wanted to make a video where I would have to read these books in 12 months or something would happen. And so instead of having some type of punishment, because it took me forever to try and think of a punishment, and I still can't really think of one because I'm not good with that, I decided what would be more fun is I'm going to watch this video now in April and then give myself the rest of April, May, and June to read the books that I haven't completed and turn it into a TBR completion project. So first things first, I'm going to be watching the video right now, basically for the first time since I made it. I think I've watched it once or twice actually, because I think it's a really funny video, so I rewatch it sometimes, but I haven't seen it recently. So we're gonna be rewatching it right now. I'm gonna be reacting to it, and then I'm gonna be reading the books on the list that I haven't gotten to. And I know there are a few on here that I have read and did not enjoy, so this is gonna be fun and it's gonna be interesting. If you wanna watch the whole video, I will have it linked down below. And if you wanna watch Nicole's TBR completion challenge, I will have it linked somewhere. I think going into it, I am going to allow myself one pass. If I only have one book to read, I'm gonna have to read that one book. But if I have more than one book, I think I'm gonna allow myself one pass, but we'll see how this goes and whether or not I actually feel like taking that. So the second half of this video after I react is going to be the vlog of me over the next few months reading the books on this challenge. Wish me luck. I have my laptop here and you're gonna be watching the video with me. It's my old intro. I mean, I still have the same intro, but it's shorter now. This is my old filming location. I used to, this is when I lived at home, so yeah, that's a different spot. And honestly, if I continue to do this video, I'd love to do this again. It'll probably be in a different spot next time too.
Excited about a lot of books, and many of those books have been on my shelf for literal years because I get excited about them and I put them on my shelf and then I get very afraid of them.
There's actually a lot on my shelf right now that kind of need to be put into a video like this because I'm afraid to read them, and hopefully part 2 will come out of this video eventually.
Hoping to read is of Dragons by...
Yeah, I've tried to read that twice now and DNF'd it twice. It's actually sitting in my unhaul pile because I haven't gotten rid of it yet. It's hard for me to get rid of it. It's so pretty, but I cannot bring my, I'm not enjoying it. Book 1, I have attempted but did not finish, so it doesn't count. I'm counting DNFs, by the way.
Fantasy book, and that is Legacy of Ash.
I have read Legacy of Ash and I absolutely freaking loved it, and I vlogged my experience reading it. I'll have it linked somewhere. That was such a good book. Oh, it's actually right behind me. I have 2 copies. I'm not pulling the hardback out because the Queen of the Tearling's in the way. I have not made it to the sequel yet though.
On the list, and don't be surprised if you see this awesome woman's name twice on these books, is going to be The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin. So
I started it and I DNF'd it, and I know that The Killing Moon is going to be on this list later, and I also started and DNF'd that one. So God, maybe I'm not good at making these lists because oof. I did read and finish We. I hated it. I really hated it. Like really hated it. I think I rated it 2 stars, but I was like even on the fence about that. I regretted reading the book. Wow, that's a really good place for me to pause the video. I've read that and I really liked it. Oh, it's behind this stack. I can't get to it right now, but I have read that and the sequel and I really enjoyed both of them. I think I rated them both like 4 something. I don't remember my ratings, but I really enjoyed both of them, and I'm really excited about the TV show eventually, and I'm really excited about the 3rd one eventually coming out. My prediction right now is book 3 is going to either be green or purple, but we'll see.
Go right into the same category as...
I already told you about this one, so bye.
Next is the Isle...
Oh, Isle of Blood and Stone. I have not read. Awesome. Finally, there's something for me to actually read in this video. I was starting to get nervous that I wasn't going to have anything to read, that I accomplished things too well. Oh my. I haven't read this and I'm still very interested in reading it. And I'm interested in reading this author's newest book, which comes out in November of this year. So I think it's like the Year of the Reaper, but I'll be picking up this one first. Hopefully my library has it or I can get my hands on it pretty easily sometimes.
Recursion by Blake Couch.
It's Crouch and I know, hold up.
That's not his name. Recursion by Blake Crouch.
I knew I made that joke. I actually remember messing that up. It was so funny when I was editing. Anyways, I haven't read this book yet, so there's 2 on the list. Cool. I also want to read Dark Matter by him, but haven't gotten to it. I still haven't gotten to Recursion, so.
I also want to read Dark Matter by him, but that's not on this list, so ignore that fact. I also want to get to...
I'm like a broken record. I started this and I DNF'd it. I didn't like it. I think that I'm not a huge fan of that like humorous writing style that it has, because it's like a zombie apocalypse dystopian story, but it's told like in a funny way. And I just wasn't into it. So I DNF'd it pretty early on into the book.
The 7.5 Deaths by Evelyn Hardcastle. Nope, she's in the title. 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle.
I also remember messing that up. Crap, I haven't read this book and I've actually lost like almost all interest in reading this book. I've been told by a lot of people to read it, but it's just that I've heard it's very, very slow and I've heard that there's some mild fat phobia in it and I just don't know if I actually have any interest. I've kind of gotten away from murder mystery books, so if I skip one this video, it'll most likely be this one and I apologize. If you really think I should read it, write down below like a really convincing reason why and maybe I'll consider it, but honestly you're gonna have to do a really freaking good job to convince me. So let's keep going and see if there's something else I want to skip more.
Library of the Unwritten.
I didn't realize this was on this list. Shit. I don't want to read this book either. I'd rather read this than the 7.5 Deaths. So Library of the Unwritten is now on my TBR for the next few months. Great. Last book. Let's make a prediction right now. I don't know what it is. Let's predict that I haven't read it.
The most intimidating one, so I don't know why I'm putting it last, but it is last. Let's go into it. And it is the book Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson.
I haven't read this yet, but I'm really interested in it still, and I know my library has it, so that's awesome because I don't have to buy anything to read it. I can support my library, I can support an author, and I can get to it. And I'm pretty sure there's a TV show about this book. Monday's Not Coming is not actually a movie. I don't know what movie I thought I was thinking of, but I think it was on Netflix, so let me look it up real quick. Oh my god, I was thinking of the TV show What Happened to Monday, which I haven't seen, but just from the blurb, it's not even close. So that means I have, oh crap, how many books do I have? That means there are 5 books on this list that I have not read yet, so I have to be reading 4 of them. So the 4 I will be reading are Recursion by Blake Crouch, The Library of the Unwritten by AJ Hackwith, Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson, and Isle of Blood and Stone by Makia Lucier. So I don't know what I'll be starting with first, but that will be the rest of this video. When is the last time I updated this vlog? I think it was sometime in April, and right now it's basically June. It's 3 days until June. I'm so sorry. It's not that I've forgotten about this video, it's that I haven't been enjoying any of the books I've been reading for this video, so I've been pushing off updating you, but at this point I have to update you on 3 books, so it's like let's sit down and talk about this. I officially started Monday's Not Coming, and I think I said that to you already, and I think I said that I had made a little ways into it. I ended up DNFing. I think I'm gonna give it a second shot. I was DNFing because I was just bored in the story, but I actually watched a review the other day where they were talking about it and they mentioned that it's a thriller, and I was like, I didn't get any thriller aspects from it, so I'm real confused, but I went on Goodreads and it is a thriller. And so I kept watching the review, and the person talked, just no spoilers, but talked a little bit about how it picks up and some of the twists and turns that are going to be happening, and I was like, oh, I think I didn't know what this book was. I thought it was a contemporary just about a girl losing her best friend and dealing with that grief. And I was bored with that story, so I DNF'd. But now I kind of want to pick it up again. So I think that it's on pause for this video for the time being. I did end up picking up The Library of the Unwritten I made it not even a full chapter into this book before I DNF'd. I don't count it as a DNF if I don't make it past the first chapter. I think of it as like sampling. Like when you go on Amazon and you send yourself a sample to your Kindle, that's basically what I'm doing. So it's not a DNF. I'm just testing out the writing style or the story or whatever, and it wasn't for me, so I'm not gonna continue with the book, right? So I don't like urban fantasies. I don't like contemporary fantasies. And that was what this book was. It was way less about the magic system. It was more about this journey that these characters were going on, and it was more about solving this mystery, I guess. I don't know if it's DNF forever. I've definitely been in a mood recently and not been enjoying many audiobooks, and that was an audiobook that I was trying. But I've also heard things from other people that say that the book just doesn't have a lot of what they wanted. So I'm hesitant to say that I'll pick it up again, but I officially have DNF'd that one. And then this morning, which is why I'm finally updating you all, I picked up Recursion, and I'm 12% into it, and I'm actually really enjoying it. I didn't like chapter 1 just because it takes me a long time to get into more contemporary thriller type books, but this is more of like a sci-fi thriller, and once we got some of those sci-fi elements into it, I was interested, which is funny because I don't like sci-fi really at all. I love sci-fi movies, I love sci-fi TV shows, but I don't like sci-fi books, and I think it has to do with a lot of sci-fi books get way too much into the science of things. Movies and TV shows, they just kind of like brush it off and they're like, oh yeah, it's like quantum physics-y things. And you're like, cool, pretty graphics. This one definitely has the issue where like he gets way too in depth with the science, and I kind of zone out during those periods, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'm curious, and I think I'll be finishing it up this weekend because it's only like 10 and a half, 11 hours long. So this is the story. We're following two different POVs, and I know a little bit more about this plot, but I'm just going to talk about what I know so far in the book. So we're following two different POVs. One of them is a man who is a detective, and the book starts out with him trying to talk a woman off a ledge because she's trying to commit suicide by jumping. And she mentions that she has this disease that alters her memories. So she basically, this disease is this thing where you have your main memories of your current life, and those are all accurate, but there's a whole entire another life that you lived, memories that just start showing up one day until you basically have two full sets of memories of lives, and you don't necessarily know which one is real. And some people have a hard time coping with when they find out which one is the real one, that it's not the one they wanted to be in. And so he's trying to talk her off the ledge, and he's worried that after the whole entire event goes down that he might have gotten this from her. And we're following him because his daughter died a few years ago, and he's grieving that, and he's grieving some other things, and he kind of lives in his head. He's kind of a maladaptive daydreamer, and so he doesn't totally know if he has this disease, and we as the reader are watching him kind of wondering if he's reconstructing memories, if he's daydreaming about the memories being better, if he has this disease. There's a lot of mystery and intrigue around whether or not he is living real or if he's kind of in this fake world. Now we're also following this woman named Helena. His name is Barry, her name is Helena, and I remember the main characters' names. I think I deserve a round of applause. Helena is an Alzheimer's researcher, and she has just been granted basically unlimited funds to try and build this chair that is supposed to help people with Alzheimer's connect their core memories better in their brain. I don't totally get the science, but it's supposed to help people. It's a chair, they sit in it, they remember things, right? And so she is off on this, it's kind of like an oil rig out in the middle of the ocean, and her and some other scientists are there trying to fund this chair. And it's really interesting. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get past the sciencey bits, but once I get past those, I'm very much into the story. The characters feel very real. A lot of times I struggle with male authors. I just feel like
they either write women as objects or they write men as fantasies, the male fantasy, and I don't enjoy reading that, and I don't relate to that. So I often struggle, but I feel like Blake Crouch is doing a really good job where both of the characters are very real and relatable, and I totally see them as being real people. They are not fantasies of people. They are not idealized people. They are real people suffering and trying to do better and doing their best. And I'm excited to keep going in this book. So I'll keep you updated this weekend, and I'm going to assume that by the end of this book, I will know whether or not I'm going to re-pick up Monday's Not Coming. So I just recorded myself listening to the second half of the last chapter that I was reading because stuff was going on and I went from devastated to angry to shocked all within like 5 minutes. I'm at 50% through Recursion right now, and oh my god, this book is so good. So good. Like 5 out of 5 stars. And I'm only 50% through. My intrigue is at a 10. It is at the highest it has been at for a book in a long time. Like, this makes me want to go and read all other Blake Crouch books, which I know of Dark Matter. I don't know if he has any other ones, but I'm loving it. I'm not going to spoil things for you, but let me check to see what I am allowed to say, because I want to talk about more things. So where I'm at, some of what I'm experiencing is a little bit in the summary. So there's this thing called false memory syndrome in this world, and it means that you have memories, I think I explained it a little bit, of like a second timeline basically. And where I'm at, we've understood what gives people those memories, and our two main characters have finally met and are trying to stop the thing that is causing those fake memories. And that's all I'm gonna say, but there's so much more that I want to talk about. This book has some of my favorite things in it, which let me see if I can say that. Okay, I can. It's tagged as time travel, and I love time travel stories where you go back and try to fix the past, but like, oh, it's so good. It's just fantastic, and I've been having so many emotions reading it. Happy, sad. I've almost cried multiple times. I haven't actually cried. I don't think I've even really teared up exactly, but it's been like, I feel like I'm about to tear up kind of a feeling. Oh my god, I'm supposed to be reading other books today. I'm not supposed to finish this until tomorrow, and I'm supposed to finish another book today, but I think I'm just gonna have to put that other book on pause until tomorrow because I only want to read this. I only want to read Recursion by Blake Crouch right now. Oh my god, I might pick up Dark Matter right after this. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see if he has any other books. I was gonna try to save Dark Matter because I'm like, you know what? I could put that on my 5-star predictions video if I ever make one again. I don't know if I can do it because I just want more. And I know that Dark Matter has more to deal with like time travel stuff. So that's it. Oh, he has some other books actually, but they're not as popular, but they are rated pretty well. It's late. I stayed up to finish Recursion tonight. Yesterday was when I talked to you guys. I ended up deciding to finish the book that I needed to finish yesterday and then finish Recursion today. It was a responsible decision that I very much did not enjoy making, but I finished Recursion today and I freaking loved it. I really loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. It was fantastic. Oh my god, the last like 40% of the book had me so hooked, so intrigued. I just wanted to keep listening and know more. And I felt like there was nothing that was really insulting or poorly written or homophobic or sexist or anything like that in the book, and it just felt like a really good book that I could recommend to pretty much anyone in my life and they would enjoy it. Of course, you'd have to be into sci-fi, which I'm not really into sci-fi books, but I do love me some good time travel. And the stakes were so high, like so freaking high. It was fantastic, and I highly recommend it, and I'm so glad that I read it. I'm so glad it was on this list. Dark Matter will definitely be being read shortly in my life, but I'm a little bit nervous to pick it up because after that, that's kind of like Blake Crouch's only really well-known book, so I don't know if his other books will be as good. They might be, I don't know, but I'm a little bit nervous because after this, that's it, and I don't have any more books to read by him. So that means I still have technically 2 books still I need to read for this video, because I'm gonna give Monday's Not Coming a second shot, and I'm gonna try to make it to maybe 50% through the book before I DNF it, and then I need to give I need to get my hands on Isle of Blood and Stone and read it, and tomorrow starts June, and I need to have both of those done before the end of June, and I don't think my library has Isle of Blood and Stone available. If I don't get to that book, I will not be mad. I really want to read it, and I'll be putting it on probably my July TBR, but if I can't make it for this video, I'm just gonna have to be understanding of the fact that like I physically can't get my hands on it. Ooh, that fan's probably loud. 1 minute. So the rest of this video didn't go according to plan. The second half of June, I ended up moving, which was kind of unexpected, and I didn't totally plan for it to happen. So right now it's actually July 5th, and this video is coming out this coming Friday. It's Monday right now. So I need to get on it so much. I'm never like this. Like, I never am like this. If you watch any other of my challenge videos, I like accomplish things way in advance. So last week I did decide to give Monday's Not Coming a second shot, and I read, I think, another 10% through it, and I just really wasn't into it, and I was asking myself, like, why am I doing this? There's not really a reason for me to force myself to read a book that I'm not enjoying. The problem is I'm not enjoying any book I'm currently reading. I am currently reading 4 books, and none of them I'm wanting to continue, and one of them is a reread of a favorite book of mine. I don't totally know if it is actually the book, is just not for me. The genre of the book is not one that I normally gravitate towards, so I do think that there is a large part of it that is that, but I also do want to say that I think a good part of it is me. I'm just out of the practice of reading. I am definitely in a reading slump. I am not wanting to pick up anything at the moment. So that leaves me with 1 book left and probably less than 3 days to read it, because if we're going to be realistic, I never read on Wednesdays. I need to get this video uploaded before then, because where I currently live, the Wi-Fi is iffy, so I need to actually have this video uploaded tomorrow night, so I have a day to read Isle of Blood and Stone, and I don't have my hands on it, but do you hear the rain now? There's so much noise here. Oh my goodness. I did check my library this evening, and they have it now. They have it, so I think I'm gonna go to the library tomorrow and pick it up, and I'm hoping that maybe that'll be something I'm in the mood for. Maybe I'll be able to like enjoy it and give it a shot and try reading it. I'm not like 100% sure I will actually be able to accomplish that, because I do have a large TBR this month, but I'm gonna go like physically put my hands on it and make the decision when I see how big it is in person, because like 400 and something pages like doesn't mean anything to me when I just hear that number. Like that could be any number of pages, and I don't know how big the words are, and I don't know how the writing is, so I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to like maybe read a chapter at the library and make the decision there. I did decide I'm going to definitely be doing part 2 of this video. I'm going to pick another 12 books to read, and I have 12 months to read them, and what I'll do again is maybe in like January or April-ish, like sometime in between those, I'll react to this video. No, to the next video, and I will do a vlog again for the ones that I haven't read at that point. And tonight I made the list of the 12 books that I want to read for that video, and it's intimidating. It's a big list of books. There's technically 13 because I have included Isle of Blood and Stone on it in case I don't get to it now, but if you don't include that, there's 12, and they're big. They're chunkers, and I'm scared of all of them for different reasons. But that video should be coming out in 2 weeks, I'm thinking. So before I could go to the library today, I went to the eye doctor and I had to get my eyes dilated. So if you will be ever so forgiving, I'm just gonna be wearing these sunglasses during this last clip here. I was gonna show you, but I don't even think I can take my sunglasses off long enough to like show you what my eyes look like next to this bright light. I went to the library after all of that. I found Isle of Blood and Stone, and I picked it up and I had the hardest time reading it, first off because my freaking eyeballs adjusting and wearing my sunglasses. I was able to read part of the first chapter. I skipped the prologue because I read the first paragraph of the prologue and I almost fell asleep. So I went to the first chapter because I hate prologues, and it was fine. Everything about the chapter was fine, but nothing about it like pulled me in or felt great. And I was like, I'm feeling this way about so many books right now. I'm not gonna pick up another book that's just gonna make me feel fine that I'm gonna have to drop off in 2 weeks having not read. That's all I have to say. I'm not reading Isle of Blood and Stone. At least not now. Maybe one day, but just not now. This was a very unsuccessful video. I'm having a hard time dealing with the fact that I have to post such an unsuccessful video, but I'm sure you guys will still enjoy it. Yay. Hopefully next year this will be better. I mean, I did read a lot of the books on this list. What was the, oh, I should come up with an average of what the rating was for all of these books. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so this is the list of the books that I had read before this video started, which was We, which I rated 2 stars, Severance by Ling Ma, which I DNF'd, Children of Blood and Bone, which I rated 4 stars, Legacy of Ash, which I rated 5 stars and have reread, The Rage of Dragons, which I have DNF'd, The 100,000 Kingdoms, which I have DNF'd, and The Killing Moon, which I have DNF'd. During this video, I read Recursion by Blake Crouch, which I rated 5 out of 5 stars. I skipped The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I started and DNF'd The Library of the Unwritten. I DNF'd Monday's Not Coming, and I sampled Isle of Blood and Stone, but just didn't think it was really in my interest, so I didn't technically pick it up. If we ignore the 2 that I didn't pick up, 7.5 and Isle of Blood, just ignore those, that leaves me with 10 books. Do we count DNFs as zeros, or do we count DNFs as nothing? Like they don't count towards anything? Okay, first off, let's do the average for if I only rate the books that I actually read. So that comes out to an average of 4 stars, which is not actually that bad. I only read 4 of the books on this list and didn't DNF them. If we include the DNFs, I don't even want to think about what that rating would be. You know what, we're not going to do that math. This was a successful video then. My average rating on all these books is 4 out of 5 stars. We'll count that as a success. I really hope that next year goes better. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you were around when I made the first video, because it's been so long at this point. It's crazy to think about the fact that I might have people on my channel who were here for the original video. Thanks for watching. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.